Good afternoon. Welcome to Bruce Leonard Leans Left. Well, it's still legal. Still legal today, I believe. A little more legal today, actually. We got a big victory today. First of all, there's a lot going on, as usual. It's always like there's 2 days in between these shows, and there's almost too much shit going on that you can't possibly focus on all of it because it's such a shit show of epic proportions with shit splattered all over the walls, all over. It's like, where do you start? I guess we'll save the good news. There is really good news. But we'll save that. With this Mike Waltz debacle. So today I was at work. Mike Waltz is out. It's national security advisor. He's gonna be out. What's up, Chriselle? And this woman who's the State Department spokesman is giving a briefing. It is in the middle of the briefing. The reporter's like, hey, did you know that Mike Waltz just got fired as National Security Advisor, and Marco Rubio, who's also the Secretary of State, is taking over this job? And she says, I swear to God, this is an exact quote. She says, well, obviously I just heard that from you. This is the second time that he's done this to people. The other time, the guy was testifying in front of Congress about the tariffs, and he canceled the tariffs or put them on hold while he was giving a thing, and then that's how he found out, was by looking at his phone. It's like, and here's the deal. So then it turns out, Waltz isn't getting fired. He's just getting moved to the UN, which, if you know anything about Trump, you know he hates the UN. So he's not getting fired, but he's filling a space. And why is that? And why is Marco Rubio taking over as National Security Advisor and Secretary of State? It's because that Trump has already run out of pathetic nutlickers that he can put in these jobs. So now, instead of firing people, he's just going to move them around the board and make people wear multiple hats, because you can only find it. I've said this before on this show. It's hard to find nutlickers this pathetic. And Trump doesn't trust anybody that he thinks might stand up to him in any way. So he wants no part of anybody that has any kind of spine. He only wants cowed nutlickers with their heads down, who will praise the dear leader and do whatever he says. And there's not a lot of those people around who are that pathetic, and he's already got them all gathered up around him. So where are you going to find more nutlickers? You're not. So he can't fire them. He's got to move him around. If you saw that cabinet meeting, it was a nut licking festival. Like they were like, "Oh, you're the greatest." What's up, Julia? Yeah, they all took turns praising him, and they all had hats. Did you notice this? They had hats. They all had hats laid out in front of them. It said Gulf of America, right? And lo and behold, today, I get an email. Did you see these in the White House? And open up the email. It's a Gulf of America hat. You know you need this. It's It's a reality show and a product placement. It's a scam. He's like, I'm about to ruin your life with these tariffs. Hey, why don't you give me another $45.99 for this fucking hat? He wants every dollar that you have. He's gonna suck it out of you somehow. It's unbelievable. People still think that this person is like a respectable person. It's I've never seen anything like it. He sells access to himself by if you invest in his crypto coin, you get a meeting with the president. Where he'll sell you another $40 hat. He's a businessman. It's unbelievable. Every day you say, man, it's unbelievable. But here we are. Yesterday at the academy, he says to people, well, maybe your kids won't get $30 this Christmas. Maybe they'll only get $2. And maybe those $2 will be a little more expensive. It's like, yeah, and you got to fight people to get it because there's only so many of them. And it's like that movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger where everybody's fighting over the toy. That's what it's going to be Black Friday, Black Christmas, where people are just beating each other up in the aisle for the... that always happens when something is popular. Remember, I'm trying to remember. It was Beanie Babies, but when I was a kid, it was Cabbage Patch Kids. Cabbage Patch Kids became like the most popular thing ever. And so all the kids wanted Cabbage Patch Kids. And so therefore, everyone was buying them, so it was hard to get them. So when the supply went low, people were fighting. Like, there was one Cabbage Patch left, and 2 moms just went at it like Fight Club. And instead of a championship belt, you got to buy a Cabbage Patch Kid. This is America. You know, when America was great. This is... If you think about it, really, this country has always been fucked up. I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. Like, how did we get here? I don't know. Look. Just gotta look back. But if Stephen Miller has his way, you won't have to do that no more, right? Because I don't know if you saw this, but little Stephen was pontificating and talking about schools, and he says, children will be taught to love America. Children will be taught to be patriots. Children will be taught civic values for schools. They want federal taxpayer funding. We're going to make sure these funds are not used to promote communist ideology. You need to hear the whole quote because he was also saying, like, a country can't, if it's kids, if you're taught to hate yourself and and it's like that learning the real history of America would make someone hate themselves. And I mean, no one hates themselves more than Stephen Miller. Look at him. It's a self-hating Jew who's somehow turned himself into a Nazi. Self-hating Jew Nazi. That's he went to Duke. That's the other thing I don't understand about these people. They all went to these schools, right? Fucking J.D. Vance went to Princeton, I think. And they said Pete Hegseth went to Harvard, which makes you believe that Harvard can't be that hard. If drunken Hegseth was... If he's got a degree from Harvard, I could get a degree from Harvard. It's not... It's obviously not that difficult. And he was drunk and stupid. So, but I don't understand their thing. But like, if you hate these schools, why did you go? Oh, well, it's a good degree. It's like, yeah, it's a good degree because it's a good school. What the fuck are you? Well, I mean, like I said, obviously, maybe it's not as good as I thought. Because like I said, if Pete Hegseth could get a degree from Harvard, I'm sure I could too. Guarantee you. And drunk as well as him. And high on weed. It's like, the guy's a fucking moron. And even Vance, like, people say, oh, listen to Vance. Like, he's articulate. Like, he can talk and use words, but it's like, if you listen to what he's saying, you're like, the guy's a fucking idiot. All these people are morons. They don't know the guy's a fucking idiot. All these people are morons. They don't understand how the real that people think that you could stare down China, and they keep saying they gotta make a deal with us. It's like, do they? And even if they don't, do you think they give a fuck? Like I said, oh, their unemployment rate will shoot out the fucking. It doesn't matter. They're an authoritarian country. They'll give all those people a check, and they'll wait it out. Like, like I said, Trump ain't got that kind of time. He's already tanking. The poll numbers are already in the 40s. He's the most unpopular president in the history of presidential polling at this point of his presidency, and it ain't gonna get no fucking better. You know, I think you realize now. People realize now we fucked up, but I don't think that they're gonna say that. Like, and his cult will always be. You know, he's got 30%, at least 30% of people that will never leave him because they are in the cult. The Will Caines of the world, the Jesse Waters, all the people on Fox, they're the fascists. They want fascism. So they're into this. But they ain't fucking the majority of people in this country, and they never have been. They're just loud and fucking obnoxious. And they figured out, like I said, how to create a stream of brainwash propaganda off the internet, which Russia taught them. I mean, like I said, the whole thing is orchestrated by Russia. And if you say that, people say, "Oh, you're fucking crazy," but no, this is the deal. They created the brosphere. They created they created Tim Pool, Benny Johnson, these fucking people who have, right now there's some right-wing douchebag talking a bunch of shit, and he's got thousands of viewers, maybe 1 million, like, people are watching it and being brainwashed, like, yeah. I do this show, I said I got 50 people watching if I'm lucky. Right now, but I'm just saying, it's not like there's a bunch of left-wing people who are out there. I mean, I guess the Bulwark and Midas, and I guess you got to have a bunch of money behind you. I mean, that's America, I guess. But the point being, they have that sphere locked down. That's why I'm trying to do this show. There needs to be more shows like ours, like this one, coming from the other side, because, like I said, they have inundated the internet airwaves, and they dominate it. So it's one of the reasons why they won this fucking election. And all the dumbass fucking internet bros that got convinced and voted for Trump, they're all going, what the fuck? Because they call them low propensity voters. They never voted, but they came out to vote for the fascists. But they're so stupid voted that they're just sucked in by bullshit, like I said. Now they all came out to vote for the fascism, and now the fascists are coming down on them, and they're going, "What the fuck's going on?" Like, well, you're the ones that fucking did this. Because you thought Elon Musk was cool. It's like, they don't know he's a South African apartheid cunt, because they don't look that far into it. They just think, oh, he's the cool rocket dude with the electric cars. He's cool. Plus, I think Musk did a good job selling himself as something he wasn't. He come out as a Nazi. He's trying to start an electric car company. He's like, I'm doing this to save the world, And people, liberals are like, yeah, let's help them save the world, buy electric cars. Which is a noble thing. But like all evil people, they take a noble thing and they use it for their own ends. Like, they don't give a fuck about you or me. They asking power, and as you can see, they'll lie about anything to get what they want. They don't have any morals or scruples. These are sociopaths, and there's millions of them. They don't give two shits about anybody. The people that watch George Floyd and laugh, and think, "Hey, get what he deserved." It's like, I don't care what you did. No cop should sit on someone's neck for fucking 10 minutes. Unless you're trying to kill somebody. I did security and teaching this chokehold and shit. They were like, you can only have this chokehold there's like a time limit. If you have to do it, they're like, don't ever use it unless you totally have to. And if you do use it, there's like 20 seconds or something, like you gotta let go, because the fucker will die. It's like you can choke a guy out, choke him to death, like you got to be careful. And I mean, he's sitting on the guy's knee on his neck for 10 fucking minutes. I said, you're trying to kill a guy. And he did. It makes me believe that, I guess it might be a federal case because somebody was saying that Trump should pardon Chauvin, but I hope it was a state case that he can't pardon him, because that fucker belongs where he is. And Trump just signed an executive order to try to make it easier for cops to do shit like that. And he's got these law firms he made this deal with, so now he has all these free lawyers, and he's like, you're going to have to represent these crooked cops. It is pretty terrible. Yes, exactly, Julius. When asked if Mega wants a dictator, they say yes. They think it's not that bad, but they don't know how bad it really is. Because people in dictatorships aren't allowed to tell anyone how bad it is. Yeah. Yeah. And they won't either. Turn on Fox News, man. They're going down with the ship. They're still defending this guy. Like I said, when the shelves are empty, they're going to be like, what? This is just short-term pain for long gain. They're never going to say, oh, this was a mistake. This guy's not up to running a country. Because, for a myriad of reasons. It's not even like one reason. It's like, even if Trump wasn't an idiot, he's evil and a sociopath who has the mind of like a 12-year-old and just wakes up like today. Like that woman found out that the dude was fired because he posted on Truth Social. I'm sure that's how everybody found out. Like, it's president by tweeting. It's this is our country. Even the fucking dictators don't do shit like that. Xi Jinping doesn't like run China on TikTok. It's like he's to make all these big announcements on TikTok without telling nobody. It just pops up. Hey, it's President Xi here. As of today, we have martial law, or whatever, and they play some song and he dances. It's like, there's no way to run a country. And they don't run their country like that. But here we are, the reality TV host in the fucking White House, fucking running the presidency by tweeting shit. And changing his mind every other minute. Like, tariffs on? No, tariffs off. No, it's on. Well, it's 90-day pause. What? Wait, it's 150%. Wait, it's 75%. Wait, it's. And then I saw this yesterday. He's like, "This is Biden's. This is Biden's economy." He's a straight face. He says, "This is all Joe Biden's fault." Even though you can clearly see on the paper, if you look at the paper, just Google yourself, U.S. stock market since January or whatever, and you see that it's like this, and Trump takes over, and it's like this, and it's like this, and then Liberation Day, when he does his tariffs, it goes, and he says, "This is all Joe Biden's fault." It's unbelievable. Like I said, he's like a 12-year-old where he's like, I didn't draw the. He's like standing there with the marker and the walls are all drawn. And he's like, I didn't do it. You see, Julius can see Kim Jong-un running his country. No, that's what I'm saying. He just comes on the TikTok or something like. He's like, today, all men between the ages of 50 and 60 will be executed. And they play some song and he dances. Meanwhile, dudes are going around just shooting people in the street. I mean, that's where we're headed, isn't it? It's really funny that every other country in the world is like looking at what's happened to us, and they're all like, "Fuck this!" Anybody that even mentions the name Trump is out. He's out there. It's like, do you like Donald Trump? Yes, fucking fire. Get the fuck out. And they still, these guys can't see what's happening around them. They don't see it. They have such a sense of egotistic superiority. They really believe that, like, the United States is like God and everybody's going to have to fucking, bow down and crawl to us. And I'm not sure that's the case. I don't know if you knew this, but the United States is only 250 years old. There was a world going on way before that. For about 1,000 years. Hundreds of years of them crossing, in ships and across the ocean and, and trading and like, we didn't even exist. I'm pretty sure that the world can get on fine without us, Some of the shit that these people have. Because as big as this country is, we don't have those things. Like the minerals. Why do you think that Trump signed the Ukraine That's another big story. If you didn't see that, Zelensky and Trump signed the Ukraine fucking mineral deal, but it's way different than the one that he put up first. This one is pretty fair to Ukraine, actually, and I have the actual deal. I have to dig through here and find it. I got so many. But the deal itself actually wasn't so bad for Ukraine. Anyway, they split everything equal pretty much, and Ukraine has the deciding votes on things. It still has to be ratified by the Ukraine Parliament, but let's see. This is old. I'm trying to find it. Yeah, here's another thing that was stupid. 28 days ago, this is true, this is a real fact. 28 days ago, Marco Rubio posted this. President Trump also signed the Women, the Peace and Security Act, a bill that I was very proud to have been a co-sponsor of when I was in the Senate. And it was the first comprehensive law passed in any country in the world. The first law passed by any country anywhere in the world, focused on protecting women and promoting their participation in society. That was 28 days ago. And then yesterday, Pete Hegseth's like, this morning, I proudly ended the Women, Peace, and Security program inside the Department of Defense. It's just another woke, divisive social justice initiative that overburdens our commanders and... It's just another example of these people don't know what the fuck they're doing. And they're stepping all over each other. In a fucking nutlick festival. It's... Oh, man. I don't think I can find it. It's... If it wasn't real... You wouldn't. If you told somebody this story, they'd say, man, that's a crazy story. That can't be real. It's like, that's totally real. I can't find it. Anyway, they signed a mineral deal. And that's the point of it. That is, we don't have those minerals and shit. We don't have it. We need that shit from China, from Ukraine. You know, that's why they're trying to get it from somewhere else, because what if China cuts us off? See, there's parts of their point that are valid. A tiny bit of their points are valid. Like being totally reliant on China for things that you really need. Like for your planes and you know, your military shit, is probably not a good idea, because if you get in a war with them, they just cut you off, and then what are you going to do? You can't build shit. So I get that part of it, and I understand what they're trying to do in that respect, that they got to shore up where we get that kind of shit, and have alternate supplies so that China decides to cut us off of shit. But see, that's the point is, no matter what they said, I don't believe that the Chinese, they don't want to go to war with us. You know, nobody wants a big fucking world war. Everybody's seen that twice now. They're going to try to avoid it if they can. And so I don't believe that the tension was nearly as high as it is now, because they intentionally, like I said, poked the fucking bear, you know. And now, like I said, the tensions are higher than they've been in years and years, and these people are fucking morons. So they know that too. They're like, hey, but these guys are morons. If we're gonna strike, we would strike now while these idiots are running shit. Because that's why Vladimir Putin didn't want Hillary Clinton to become president. Because Hillary Clinton, no matter what you think about her, she's been around for a long time and she knows how the world works and she don't play no fucking shit. And Vladimir Putin knew that. He knew that she's not gonna let him take Crimea. And so he worked his ass off to get Trump in. And it worked. Because of the cooperation between Putin and Julian Assange and the fucking internet, like I said, and the Alex Joneses and shit. See, what they did was they set up a propaganda network inside the United States. And then Putin was a KGB agent. Like, this is what he does. He set up a propaganda network inside the United States, and then he fed them Julian Assange, and he used Assange to swing the election. And Assange didn't want Hillary Clinton to become president because he was afraid that she was going to get him deported out of England and brought to the United States to go to prison. So he was willing to do anything, to stay out of prison. And he did, but I don't know if, he might as well have been in prison. He was in house arrest. I was like, I don't know if that worked out the way he wanted it to. But all of this stuff it's a chess game, right? And most people don't understand world politics because they don't pay any attention to it. But what's happening is, what is it? Oh, Questella says, I seen some lady crying on Facebook about how much she loves Trump, but doesn't understand why he's messed up her retirement account. Because he doesn't care about you. His whole cabinet are billionaires and millionaires. They don't give a fuck about what's going on, and none of this tariff shit's going to bother them because they're rich. The people are going to get kicked in the balls the hardest are his supporters. But see, here's this key, too, that they didn't understand is he don't need them anymore. What he's done is cleared the table off of anyone that'll stop him. And he's already been president once, so he can't run again, so he doesn't need to worry about getting reelected. And he's able now to play out his private fantasy of pretending to be Vladimir Putin or some kind of dictator for the next 4 years. And that's what he's doing. And until someone stops him, that's what he's going to keep doing. Oh, and now for the good news. So if we're already half hour in, so I don't want to forget to tell you, but if you don't know, a judge today, a Trump-appointed judge, said just what I said in the very beginning, that the Alien Enemies Act is complete bullshit. We're not in a war. It's a wartime power that he's trying to assert with some bullshit invented national emergency. And today was the first time a court said it's unlawful for him to use that act to deport people, and he's not allowed to, they're going to go right to the Supreme Court, I'm sure. But right now, as we speak, he's not allowed to deport people anymore under this act. And there's 100 and something people in El Salvador that were in the Seacot prison, the first plane load where Abrego Garcia got taken down there. All those people now were deported illegally because he can't use this bullshit authority. Yeah. And those people were denied due process. So, theoretically, they need to bring all those people back and have hearings and prove that they're Transawagua or gang members, terrorists, whatever they say they are. And if they are, then send them right back. But if they're not, and they're not, I can assure you this. They are not. Not all of them. I mean, I'm sure there's some of them that are, but not all of them. Because they're trying to get to 1 million people. I saw a thing. Steve Miller had a secret memo with it. They're trying to get to 1 million deportations so they can say, look, we're get rid of. But that's been my whole point all along. You think there's 1 million gang members? How many fucking people are in this gang? I don't know if a gang has got 1 million members. I mean, maybe there is. I haven't looked it up, but the Crips and the Bloods, maybe. I mean, I don't even think they have 1 million members. Let's look it up. Just out of curiosity. Let's say a good old American gang, one that we know is big, like the Crips. How many Crips are there? See? What do you think the Crip number is? The Crips gang is estimated to have between 30 and 35,000 members across 221 cities and 41 U.S. states. As of 2015, they had approximately 800 active sets. 35,000. No. There is no 1 million members. That's my point. There's no 1 million member gang. That's a fucking big gang. That's a country. 1 million people. They ain't got 1 million people. Ain't no gang got 1 million people. That's my point is, it was never going to be just gang members and terrorists because the numbers that they're trying to get are astronomical. You want to get 1 million people out of here, I guarantee you not half of them are going to be gang members and criminals. No, they're going to be like that woman with the 2 kids with the cancer that they fucking deported the other day. Like, oh, what? Is she a criminal? I don't believe so. This is not what they said it was going to be. Like everything else they do. None of it. It's just like Project 2025. People say, oh, look, here's a whole manual how they're going to dismantle the government. And they said, no, I don't know. I don't know those people. I don't know anything about it. First day in office, fucking 150 executive orders, Project 2025. Like, I thought you didn't know those people. That's what I'm saying. 1 million people is a whole country, bro. It's a lot of people. You think that, like I said, there's that many gang members? There's not. That's what the judge said today. Said Trinidad is not an army. It's not a. They're not like physically trying to capture territory in the United States. And therefore, your use of this act is bullshit. You're just trying to use it. That's what said. Stephen Miller sat it for 4 years digging through every law that's ever written. It's like, I'm sure Stephen Miller had a stroke today. I hope so. I hope his little bald head exploded all over the fucking... And they told him, the judge said, you can't use this bullshit act. But like I said, he was sitting up. That's why I told you before. These people are fanatics. That's what a fanatic does. He spent the last several years digging through every single law ever written to try to find a law that he could use to digging through every single law ever written to try to find a law that he could use to deport brown people out of this country. And one night in like 3 a.m, he fucking finally got to 1798 and he was like, ah! Here it is, 1798. Alien Enemies Act. Of course, we've got to be at war. So what we do is we tell them, you know, it's a war. It's a gang war. It's an invasion of. The whole thing was never going to be legal. I said that in the beginning of the show, like in one of the very first episodes. When they declared that, it's like, we're not at war. It's a wartime power that makes sense if you're at war. If somebody's trying to invade your country, take it over, you might want to get rid of people who aren't from the country, while it's being actively, there's an incursion, it's like, but that ain't what's happening. And they said the same thing. Like, oh, we got to use this to deport these people because they're members of this gang and it's a war. And then they deport the people. And you go, wait, these people aren't in the gang and in the war. It's just guys. And then instead of saying, oh, well, maybe we fucked up. No, they go, here's a Photoshop of the guy's fist. And it's MS-13. And then Judge, what the fucking, the drunk bitch, Judge Janine, she was on the Five Assholes yesterday, talking about the skull means the S, and the I forget what it was. Everything. The marijuana is the M, and the this is the S, and this, and then the skull at the end means 13. You're like, what the fuck are you talking about? All these fucking university professors and people who have studied these gangs and written books, they're going, I don't know what the fuck she's talking about. I've never heard this. No, because you ever seen an MS-13 gang member? Yeah, exactly. So they got tattoos on their face and shit. Just say MS-13 on their fucking forehead. They don't give a fuck. They're not hiding it on their fucking knuckle hands. Like, this is secret code. Like, that's what the fucking Nazis do, bro. That's what the... like the Pete Hegseth tattoos. I bet they mean way more than that guy's hand. I don't know exactly what they mean, but like I said, it's all part of its Christian nationalist, fucking white supremacist, bullshit. I'd stop short of calling them the Aryan Nation because I don't think they're that, but there's something close to that. For sure. Like I said, they're the remnants of the Confederacy. Sherman didn't burn enough. That's what I say. They say, oh, he burned down Atlanta all the way to the sea. He should have burnt the whole fucking thing to the ground. That's what he should have done. He should have left not a goddamn thing for them fucking people. Because you see what happened. Like cockroaches, here they are again. We're going to deal with them again. I said a bunch of times, and it's true. Like, it never lasts. That's why even though it's dire and it's dangerous and and then it could be bad and it could be bloody at some point. But these people, it never lasts very long for them. They never fucking win. They're not gonna win because they are the minority no matter what they want to say. They want to pretend like that. That's why they want to get all the brown people out and have fuck all these white women and have as many babies as possible because they need. They're afraid of the numbers game. Because they're racist, bro. It's really sad that it's 2025 and there's wide swaths of people that still have this primitive outlook of what human beings are. Yes, I prefer cockroaches too, Costello. They don't talk as fucking much. Nothing worse than asshole racists who won't shut the fuck up. Stephen Miller's been screaming for 30 fucking years. And look, he screamed his way all the way to the top. Now I live for the day that Stephen Miller gets what's coming to him. I want to see him dragged into the Seacott prison. That's what I want to see. Like, oh, this is where you want to put people? Okay. It's like, you done way worse than these people. The sad thing is, he probably never get what's coming to him. He'll end up like Oliver. Like as soon as the Trump administration is over, he'll get a job on Fox News. It's every. It's unbelievable how shameful all of this has become, and that nothing will happen probably to any of these people. And all these lives that they've ruined, all these fucking, even just now. I mean, they've only scratched the surface of the damage they could do. They're talking today about they're going to start sending people to Uzbekistan and Rwanda. It's like, you're going to take people to Rwanda? It's like, yeah, plane lands. Like, here's a machete. Good luck. Rwanda. I don't understand why they think. I mean, why can't they just send people back to where they're from? Why is also this thing like, we're going to take you halfway around the world and drop you off in Rwanda? Or Libya was another thing I heard. Libya. It's like, really? And then they're there, right? Let's say you're in Libya. Like you're just some fucking poor ass immigrant that got caught up in this shit. You came to the United States to pick fruit or whatever the fuck you were doing, and the ICE grabs you, right? And all of a sudden, you don't go to CCOT prison because you're not Venezuelan or whatever. So they just throw you on a plane and take you to like said Libya or something, and just drop you off. They go, here you go. You ain't got nothing, right? So what happens then? Then you're starving, right? You steal something, and you know what Libya is, right? I mean, it's old school shit. Like, you get caught stealing in Libya, you're going to harsh ass prison, or maybe they cut your hand off. It's like, guy comes back from his country, ain't got no hand. It's like, what happened? He's like, well, they dropped me off in Libya. I was starving, stole a loaf of bread. They cut my hand off. It's finally my family sold their house or something, got enough money to get me a plane ticket home. It's like, dude, all because you wanted to go to the United States. I'm not laughing. It's a tragic, terrible story that could very easily happen. This is the absurdity of the situation that we've created here. It's tragic and shameful, and I mean, it's just so. And some people are still like, yeah, Trump is the greatest. He's the greatest president I ever seen. Like, really? I'm interested to see what happens. I said, I'm lucky because I don't give two fucks. I don't have any skin in the game, really. Like, I'm kind of just an impartial observer at this point. I mean, I'm not impartial, but I'm saying, like, whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. So I'm just keeping my head on a swivel and trying to pay attention to what's happening and what's going on. And people are pushing back, though. See, that's what I mean. It's like there's only so far that he can go in this country because everybody has a fucking gun, and a lot of people will stand up. They're standing up now. And I said, everyone in this country has a gun. Some of them, fucking 50 of them. I know a lot of people that have that many guns. It seems outrageous, but it's true. Many guns. It seems outrageous, but it's true. You know, I'm about to buy a shotgun, so I'll have 5. You know, and I said, I'm not a gun nut by any means, but think about that. Extrapolate that out. How many actual gun nuts there are. There's a lot of guns. And so I don't think that, like I said, there's only so far that he can go before people would say, fuck all that, you know. And I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet, because there was already these fake ICE dudes, you know, dudes that just wannabe dudes that got masks on, and they were busting someone's window and dragging them out. And sooner or later, somebody like that is going to get shot. You know, or they said, oh, ICE agents can come in your house with no warrant. Oh, I want them to try that, because it won't take very long before they run across somebody who fucking opens fire on them. As I said, you can't just be coming into people's houses in America, especially. Every house got a gun, or sometimes, I said, 10 or 50. So sooner or later, this is going to end up in a bad situation. My dad says, oh, that's what he wants. Because he could declare that Insurrection Act and declare martial law. But like I said, this country is so big. How you going to lock down this whole country? You're not. You're not. Yes, there's May-Day protests today in all states. I've seen them. They're big. That's what I mean. I'm saying people are already pushing back. It only took 100 days, and people are like, that's what, I was reading something earlier. Slate, I think. You should read it. It's a good article. I can't remember the name of it, but she was saying that, you know, in a lot of ways, the 100 days is what it took for people to get over, like, the election and what happened, and, like, absorb it all and suck it all in, and then get up and start fighting. And now people are up and start fighting, you know. The Republicans today, I swear to God, the Democrats put a bill, well, there's a bill, and they were marking up the bill. But the Democrats put an amendment in the bill that said that ICE cannot deport U.S. citizens. And every single Republican voted against it. I'm telling you right now. And this is not like someone that's like, oh, I'm a huge partisan Democrat. Like, Democrats got their fucking problems. But the Republican Party, as it's currently constructed, needs to be destroyed. Destroyed. And by destroyed, I just mean, like, vote all the motherfuckers out. I mean, like, you're not getting back into power at all until you fucking get your act together. And you purge yourself of these fucking lunatics who don't want to do anything except talk about girls in the bathroom, you know, and transgender sports. And that's why this country is falling apart, because people aren't really working on the fucking problems. They're inventing false problems. And every single Republican bill or idea they have is a regressive idea. It's like, let's get rid of this thing we don't like, you know. What they're trying to do is systematically undo all the change that has occurred in the last 50 to 100 years. That's really what this is all about. They don't like change, man. Want to back. Go back to the way it was when it was great. It's like, it was never great. That's why we had all these changes. Trying to make it great. You never did achieve, you know. I mean, I'll tell you this much. Going from a country that had African American people enslaved to blues, rock and roll, and hip hop, and black culture like becoming like part of American culture, is tremendous progress. Yes, it's in the Constitution. But see, they don't care about the Constitution. That's the other thing. Now, let me tell you something right now. Any person you see that has an American flag pin on their fucking lapel is 95% at the time, completely full of shit. And now, they're downright fascists. Oh, America! It's like, American freedom and blah, blah, blah. And you're like, the Constitution? Oh, well, it gets in the way, of our fascist, I'm just saying, it's fake. It's fake. These fake patriots. Yes, it's a cult. It's an authoritarian fascist thing. Like I said, that's what Putin wanted. It's what Putin wants. It's to destroy democracy, because that's why he went out to Ukraine. He can't have a democracy on his border and people would see, hey, there's a better way to live than the way we're living, and he can't have that. So what's he do? He goes to war with them. Same as us. They didn't go to war with us, but, for a long time they've been doing this. The fucking guy, Khrushchev, the guy that smashed this fucking thing, he said a long time ago, it's a famous quote, he said, we will never have to invade you. We will destroy you from within. And it's been a KGB fucking program for decades to try to influence, thought here in the Western world, and to instill the fascist authoritarian thing, so that, hey, if we become that, then we won't be enemies so much anymore. Or we'll elect some moron to be the fascist leader, and they'll be able to roll over him because he's an idiot, which is... If you ask me, I would think that that's more of the plan. They want Donald Trump in there because... Yeah. I don't believe they're scared of us anymore. How's that? And Trump might be the, I was trying to read the Nostradamus quatrains. It's like this. I was trying to read the Nostradamus quatrains. It's like there's Trump in here somewhere. Think about it. The false prophet, the Antichrist. The false prophet, the Antichrist. The Nostradamus quatrain. It's like, but you can't find it. As I said, the quatrains are. That's why, people go, oh, Nostradamus. Like, if you read it, it's pretty general. Like, it could happen anytime in any era. He was just a good writer. I don't believe he was a psychic. It's like the conspiracy people, they only hear what they want. Like, my dad's always watching Ancient Aliens. Now, Ancient Alien had been on for a long time, right? And in the beginning, you're like, oh, this is kind of interesting. And now it's been on for 15 years. Like, it's like, come on, man. And here's the thing I don't like about that show, or shows like that, is they never say no. You ever notice that? They never say, like, oh, we found this ancient city and they can't figure out why it was, when they found it, they didn't know why it was so technologically advanced for its time and blah, blah, blah. And they go, could it be aliens? And they never say, no, after further research, we found out, that it was these people and they built this place and blah, blah, blah. No, the answer is always, yes! Could it be aliens? Yes! And that guy comes on with the big hair. No, this is why the aliens built this place. And you're like, you got to put in a couple times, like, no, it wasn't aliens. It's like, for me to think that this is like, a legitimate theory. Because you can't just keep jamming the same theory and the same, like, anytime you don't know anything. Like, could it be aliens? Yes! It's like, Well, yeah, I guess it could be, but it could also be something else. It's like, later on we found these tablets and it explained how they made it. It would turn out to be just people, But no, it's always aliens. It's always the answer. It's like, could it be aliens? Yes! Okay, Giorgio, aliens. I get every time. Every single time. I haven't got here. I think my dad stopped watching the Ancient Aliens so much because now he's hooked on buying guns. Yeah, I wish it was Alien Sequence. I wish they'd come and fucking pick us up. I'm fucking tired of. I've been tired of living here for a long time. We are never going to evolve to a better place, and that's a sad place to leave you tonight, but I believe that to be the case. So I've chosen to just laugh my way through it as much as I can. And thank you again, as always, for joining me. And what's today? Thursday? So that means I'll be back on Saturday at 6 o'clock, and hopefully Danielle will be here again, and we'll have an interesting discussion. Please. Thank you guys really for listening, and I am Bruce Leonard, and this is Bruce Leonard Leans Left, while it's still legal. And I said it's a little more legal today than it was yesterday, so hey, we got to take our victories where we can. Hopefully it'll bring those people back. From Venezuela, the Venezuelans back from El Salvador. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. Good night. I'll see you Saturday.